What's going on, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. So, question I've been putting off for a while is, how is this Platinum on the highway? And if you don't know, the reason people want to know is because we got the pretty aggressive BFG KO2 tires, we got the TRD Pro suspension, so they really want to see how all that works on and off the road. But highway is a big deal because a lot of people take trips, they want to see how the MPG is, all that stuff. So what I did, I didn't want to answer it right away. I wanted to log some highway miles, and we logged just over 1,000. So along those 1,000 miles, I basically put stuff in my phone as I was traveling on some of the notes I've been feeling about the truck. This is one video we'll do constantly as, you know, my ownership goes forward, just to see if anything changed along the way. But in the first 1,000 highway miles, these are some of the things that I pointed out, and I'm glad I did because I forgot some until I read it again. So the first thing on the list is there's very little drone from the exhaust. The TRD exhaust, if you don't have it, if you're thinking about getting an exhaust, take a look at it. It's a little more expensive than everything else, but it really works perfectly with this 5.7 liter iForce V8 engine. It's a nice roar, but it's not obnoxious. There's not a ton of drone. There's a lot of great exhaust systems out there, but just make sure you do your research. But as far as the TRD exhaust goes, very little drone. Was very happy about that. At cruising speed, basically the whole trip, you know, you can hear that it's there, but it's nothing crazy. My MPG in that 1,000 miles of highway was between 18 and 19, and sometimes it scored at a little bit over 19 to maybe 19.1 or 2, which is pretty good, especially for this setup, and with the truck being so new. There's only 1,767 miles on it, so that's not bad for an engine that's barely broken in. Smooth ride at highway speeds is the next one. This TRD Pro suspension is obviously a soft off-road suspension, so, you know, when you're traveling down the road at high speeds, you're not really feeling the bumps. But I want to note, it's not like you're not feeling the bumps as if there's not a good amount of feedback coming from the truck. You're just not being jarred. And I really think that has a lot to do with the TRD Pro suspension. Even when I had the TRD Pro, it was the same thing. It just kind of glided over those bumps. You knew they were there, but you know, it wasn't a jarring experience on the highway. This was a good one. No interior rattles or shakes. All right, this Tundra, my 5th Tundra, all Tundras I've had, there's not a lot of interior rattling. You don't hear the dashboard rattling. You don't hear anything coming loose or anything like that. Even the Tundras that I've had for a long time, when the miles get up there, the truck is built with quality and craftsmanship, and you could definitely tell, especially when you're hitting bumps and at high speeds, all that stuff. So no interior rattles or shakes whatsoever. But, you know, we'll keep an eye on that along the way. Here's one. The headlights aren't bad. And I'll be honest with you, that LED strip that's on the Platinum in 1794, it really helps a lot. Another thing I wrote here is make sure you're using your fog lights, because those fog lights really make a difference, especially in your lower left and right and ahead, just like closer to the truck. All three of them together, I'm not mad about the headlight situation at all. I know a lot of people complain about the headlights, but those LED strips really actually do make a little bit of a difference. Here's a good one. Visibility in the truck is great. I mean, you're up above everything. It's kind of like a big fishbowl, but blind spot monitoring helps a lot in fast moving traffic. Just when you're on a highway and it's a busy, you know, time of day or whatever, you got a lot of traffic around you and you're moving fast, it's always good, you know, so you don't miss anything. You got your blind spot monitoring, but never just depend on blind spot monitoring. Still do your checks, okay? You should always be doing mirroring over the shoulder. Don't depend on anything. What if something broke and that blind spot monitor is not coming on? So you still got to do the old school stuff too. But the visibility is great. But yes, blind spot monitoring is fantastic. As far as handling goes, handling is good, but around bigger vehicles, and when I say bigger vehicles, I mean like semi-trailers, tractor trailers, stuff like that. The air, like if you're in a certain spot around the truck, the air coming off of the truck is very turbulent, and you really feel it in the Tundra. It's kind of like a two-hand on the wheel situation. It's not like dangerous or crazy or anything, but it definitely feels different than when you're in clean air. It's also when there's a headwind, because the front of the truck is lifted up, you could definitely feel that wind getting under it, and you know, you could feel it in the steering wheel quite a bit. Again, nothing unsafe, just you feel it a little bit more than if you had a tailwind. For me, and this is going to be different for everyone, when I fill up right now, I'm getting a 500 mile range on the 38 gallon tank, which is great because you don't have to stop to fill up every 5 minutes. Your MPG distance to empty is going to change as the truck computer learns how you drive it and how your average MPGs are and stuff like that. So when I first got the truck, it was about, I think it was like 580 till empty, and now it's at 500. It'll start to settle in over the life of the truck. As far as the tires go, tires are awesome. No noise at high speeds. You could hear them at low speeds, but it's nothing bad. Now, I don't know about you, but when I buy something like, you know, cool off-road tires, I want to hear them a little bit. Nothing obnoxious. You hear it at low speeds, very little, and only really when the windows are down. At high speeds, you don't hear them. You look at them and you expect a really bumpy, rough ride, but man, they're very smooth. Very impressed with the BFG KO2s. Probably the most impressed I've been on all tires I've owned. I had Toyo open country mud terrains, and those were mud terrains, and they were great off-road, but on-road, they were pretty hardcore, and they were very loud, but these are doing the job, and I'm really impressed. Very, very impressed. And last but not least, this is a good one. The truck always feels like it wants to get up and go when needed, no matter what speed. So if you're cruising at 65 and you want to get around a car, the truck's ready to go. There's no lag. Sometimes you'll be in a car when you're at high speeds. There's no more gears left to go through. It'll drop a gear, and the RPMs will get really high. But this truck doesn't really do that. There's still some RPMs left to work with a little bit there, so it'll just zing right around a car without getting, you know, aggressive and loud. Unless you want it to, and then put your foot all the way down on the pedal, and that'll happen. But yeah, so that's pretty much my notes so far. I'm glad this is kind of a new thing I'm doing. I don't just say, oh, I drove 1,000 miles on the highway. What did I experience? I've been, you know, after each trip, writing some notes along the way, and then coming back to it when I do this video. And thankfully I do, because I remember a bunch of stuff. Or I'm glad that was there, or I wouldn't have remembered a bunch of stuff. But yeah, overall, very, very impressed with the way this truck is on the highway. Comfortable ride, enjoyable. I have actually no cons really on the highway. Even the MPG. The MPG, I understand, it's not the best in the world, but it is a truck at the end of the day. So I can't complain. And with the suspension setup and the tires, you know, and the little bit of the lift and all that, the fact that I'm still on the highway getting 19 MPG, I'm pretty pumped about that. And yeah, so I'm happy. But yeah, comment below the video and let me know what you think. Obviously, Twitter and Instagram at TundraDude34. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And don't forget, today and every day, SparksParts.com. Use the promo code TundraDude34 and save yourself 5%. Why not, right? They got everything Toyota. So check them out, and thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think.